Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth and I am back again doing your March 2016 monthly tarot horoscope. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Aquarius. So my big announcement is that so far I'm not really feeling the necessity to do the mid-month readings. I got sick. Some of you know, those of you who follow me on Twitter, I got sick a couple weeks ago, and it took a huge chunk out of my recording time. So I also did post that I was anticipating doing the sex and relationships again, for which I don't normally do, for March. But I haven't yet decided if I'm going to be doing those because of time constraints. So in February I didn't post the mid-month readings like I normally do. For those of you who are new to my channel, I usually post twice a month, at the beginning of the month and mid-month. But because I got sick for just over a week, it took a lot of time away from doing that. So but I also had a little time to kind of reflect and kind of think about where I want my channel to go. And I'm feeling like right now I'm very happy doing the general readings once a month. I may discontinue mid-month readings. So if I don't post a mid-month reading, that chances are I don't have time for it. It's going to be kind of stop and go a little bit because of time constraints. I have to play a little bit of catch up right now. So, so that said, I am going to be doing the regular general readings monthly, posted around the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, like I usually do. Those are still going to be available to everybody. I'm not going to be renting those out. So, that's the plan right now. And then I may be doing the sex and relationships videos more. So for those of you who really like those videos, and those videos will be rented. But my regular general readings that I post in the beginning of the month, every single month, those videos are going to be available to everyone and, like normal. So that's the update that I have right now. That's what's going on. And yeah, so let's get on to the reading. So I have been shuffling here, so I'm just going to lay out a spread for you guys. Again, this is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Aquarius. And I am using my regular Shadowscapes deck, just so you guys know, by Stephanie Pre-Moon Law. And for those of you who like to know what's going on with my channel, definitely follow me on Twitter, because I post, I let everybody know what's going on, and I do post links to my videos on there also. Or I try to, anyways, as much as possible. Okay. Hang on just a second. I missed one, so I have to rearrange my little spread here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to start in the card with the card as the foundation. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my channel, I don't always start in the middle of the spread. I do Celtic cross spread. I don't always start in the middle. So I'm going to start with the Four of Swords. It's actually in reverse. Very interesting. For the foundation. Now, for those of you who are also new to my channel, these cards I've taken a lot of artistic creative license with these cards. So there's writing on every single card. Each card has a yes or no at the top and bottom. And not every card is going to be a yes, 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 no card. Some of it's a yes and no. Some of it's a no, no card. And also, so in reverse, my reverses may or may not match up to what other decks. This is not like the traditional tarot. So if you're learning tarot, please, understand that I take a very creative approach to these cards. This is like, I see this as sort of like a magical kingdom, and this is what I interpret as what these cards are. And being Aquarius, you guys totally understand. I've got a zillion planets in Aquarius, so I'm sure you get it, but I just want to explain this to you because this Four of Swords in reverse may not match up with what your Four of Swords or the traditional Four of Swords means, okay? So my card, the Four of Swords it says wanting to hurt someone, you're so angry, not being able to because you are so drained. This is sleeplessness and nightmares, okay? It's kind of a card where you're kind of at a point where you're past the cranky point, okay? You're past the point where you should, it's sort of like you've been stayed up for so many nights in a row, and then you kind of like want to like let into someone, or you may lose your temper. You may have lost your temper because you're so stressed out, and you're like, because mainly of a lack of sleep. So to me, this is a lack of sleep. This is feeling very tired, overly tired. If you have children, this is a child who is overly tired. They need more sleep. They need to be getting better sleep. For whatever reason, they're maybe not sleeping through the night. And several days, consecutive days, weeks, months, years add up as far as, your physical body not being able to handle stress. And so this is also finding out something that really pisses you off. Like, it's something that makes you really, really angry. It gets your blood boiling, and you're just really like so mad. But you're mad and you're tired too. So it's like you're mad, but you're not really able to do anything about it because you're just like, I can't deal with it. Like, you're just at a point where you just can't deal with it. So you may let it go. The Four of Swords to me is the peace card. It's the Zen card. But in reverse, it's not Zen. It doesn't feel Zen. It feels the opposite of Zen, which is like, just frustrated, pissed off, angry, wanting to like be very like, I don't know, just at that point where, it's sort of like that point where you just want to hit something. You just want to punch the wall. This is where guys kind of punch the wall kind of thing. This could be your partner too, male or female. This is anger. This is being mad. This is being upset. And your blood is just kind of boiling, finding out something that makes you really, really upset, really angry. And so I want to say, because this is the foundation. Now, this may have gone on, and this is what I call the foundation, is the distant past. It represents the distant past. But in my spread, the way I see it is it does color the rest of the reading. In this case, I feel like for some of you, there was a point in time, maybe in February, maybe longer than that, where you weren't sleeping well, and you were drained out, and your temper flared up, okay? Maybe you were just not getting the sleep that you needed to rest, and you got pissed off, or something triggered you, and you got pissed off, you got angry, okay? You lost your temper. And then other people in the distant past were dealing with someone that lost their temper on them, okay? And there could have been like punching the wall type stuff, kind of scary stuff, but it was more just like that person was really, really, really upset with you, or really, really angry, okay? And the third possibility is in the distant past, you were, I want to say, just, you found out something that made you really upset. And it really like disturbed you, and it got you really, really angry. And that's in the distant past, okay? This is just something triggered you. This is like a trigger moment. This is like almost like a knee-jerk reaction. This is not Zen where you're like, you can handle everything. This is where you are really like, almost like you want to lash out, or maybe you did lash out, or maybe you said something. So this is the Swords energy, saying something hurtful to someone, okay? losing your temper. It is not good when an Aquarius loses their temper. It's really not, because it's pretty scary. To most people, they can't handle it. You know, it's just, you know, Aquarius is when they feel it, they just feel it so sharply. It's like a sharpness. It's like that sword knife energy. It's very, like, when people feel like, even when an Aquarius is like, not even like really fully angry, but like mildly angry, like if you're dealing with someone who's like got like softer water energy, they're gonna feel it. Like without, when you say like one word, they're gonna feel it. It's gonna be like so sharp to them when you're not even like really fully angry. So your words can be very hurtful to someone. You have to be careful what you say around certain people, because your words can be very, very hurtful, even when you're not even at that really, really boiling, you know, point. It's very interesting. Okay, so I feel like for a lot of you, this is what's happened in the past. I don't necessarily feel that this is happening, you know, in March, really. For some of you, there may be a boiling point that you have yet to reach. Or there may be something that's just continually pissing you off, like something that's continually getting you upset. Now, if you're in a relationship, this is where you are getting into like arguments with your partner, and you know, they're triggering you like constantly. This is like a constant thing, because it's the foundation in the spread. It's like constant. It's like something that's always sort of there. So like the hum for some of you who are in a partnership is this conflict energy, is this energy of somebody rubbing you the wrong way, of this sort of like, you know, that person that you're just constantly rubbing up against that's not good for you. And upsetting you, constantly making you angry, constantly putting you, you know, getting you to that point where you want to hit something, where you know, where it's almost like at that point of like, I want to say domestic violence. For some of you, it's almost at that point, okay? And some of you may have been in the past at that point. But it's kind of not a good vibe for, you know, for March, as far as the color of the reading, okay? But I don't feel like everybody's in that place. I feel like for a lot of you, it's just maybe not getting your sleep, getting pissed off. There's something that happened in the past that pissed you off, and you lost your temper, and it's now blown over. You know, and I feel like for those of you who are single, I feel like those single people, especially if you're in school, I don't know, I'm getting a school vibe too. Burning the candle at too many ends. Getting really, like, this is like ongoing, like being sick for like an ongoing period of time. Because the Four of Swords is someone who's sick, but this is like, in the reverse, it's like somebody who's not getting the rest that they need. Someone who's been sick for a long time. This is like continually being sick, or constantly worrying about your health, or constantly trying to fix your health, or like there's something that's like, that's sort of just like in your life constantly bothering you, you know? Getting kind of fed up maybe with your health, maybe just kind of just being at that, again, that boiling point, that breaking point where you're just like, you know, some of you may be just ready to kind of give up a little bit when it comes to like your health, but you shouldn't do that. Okay, so this is where I normally talk about natural remedies, because there's a lot of flowers in the image, and I know I'm going on about this one card, and I'm not really getting into the other cards, but this is really important because this card does not come up very much in reverse. I very rarely see it. I don't think I've even seen it in any of the spreads I've done in the last year. So I'm talking about it because I feel like it's a major thing, okay? And it's important. So there's a lot of flowers in this card. And I normally recommend natural remedies, Bach remedies, naturopathic, seeing a naturopathic doctor, talking to an herbalist. There's a really cool channel that I found. There's an herbalist in Ireland who's really, really cool recently. So I can send you that link to her channel if you like, or I can post it below. I'll just post it below. I think that will be helpful for a lot of you. Because a lot of you don't even know what an herbalist is. Okay, it's kind of crazy because, you know, our society, especially in the US, is so, like, you know, regular practitioner driven, that people don't even know what a naturopath is or an herbalist is. So definitely look into that. You know, I want to say specifically herbalist for you. So for those of you who are not like ongoing, like you don't have like an ongoing sickness, and again, I would recommend, if you haven't talked to me, if we have never done a health spread, I have a health deck, and I would want to do a reading for you with that health deck. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical practitioner, but I can do a reading with my health deck, and it may give you some really good suggestions as far as like what to take, natural stuff to take. But I feel like for the most part, the problem is you're not getting the rest that you need. You're not getting the sleep that you need. You're not slowing down. You've got too many worries, too much shit going around. Your head is like filled with like a lot of crazy energy, and it needs to go. Like you need to be in that place of zen. You need to rest. You need to get to that peace of mind. Now, some of you may be really... some of you may be very focused on having like a very zen, peaceful life, but there's been things that are in the past, or even sort of ongoing things that you're not happy with. And you're like, I want those things to change. In March, I feel like you're going to really want those things to change. Okay, so moving on, so you have the Chariot in the recent past. To me, this is you. You know, for those of you who do traditional tarot, they're like, well, that's a Cancer. And I'm like, no, this is an Aquarius, because in a magical world, Aquarius is the water bearer. And Aquarius, especially Aquarius females, could be Aquarius males too, rule like a water world. They rule this magical water world, okay? And Aquarius is usually very attracted to water, okay? There's a connection between Aquarius and water. So I see the Chariot as you, okay? You know, maybe you were doing things, you know, going really fast, speeding through life. You know, I do feel like there's been a lot of changes that have kind of happened for you, because you have the Judgment card crossing you. And I feel like the two are kind of linking up. They have this vibe. Things happening quickly, maybe swift judgment, maybe swift decisions, I want to say, for some of you. This is things happening. And the Judgment card is a legal thing, so some of it's like, you know, very being like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to file the papers. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. You know, maybe there's some kind of legal thing. So the Chariot and the Judgment card can also be together, just making a swift decision, or starting fresh and doing it like really fast, or things, I want to say, I think I was trying to say, making the decision to start over, and it happening really maybe faster than you think. This is things happening maybe faster than you anticipated. Because the Judgment card is crossing you. Some of you may have yet to kind of face the music about something. Okay, maybe some of you have yet to kind of like come to some kind of closure about a breakup or divorce that you have had, or maybe there's some closure that you're anticipating as far as a legal issue. I feel like this is more relationship related. There is something that I feel like you're yet to kind of experience as far as like, I want to say closure on something. Now, women, I talk to a lot of women, and women have a thing with closure, okay? And you don't need any final conversation to get closure from anyone, okay? Women believe that they do, and it's never enough. Like, for women, you know, women, like, hoping and wanting to hear certain things, but, like, you know, with guys, those things may not ever come out of their mouth. Okay, so you need to accept, and for girls too, like, you know, if you're breaking up with a girl, there may be something that you're anticipating or you want them to say, but they're not going to say it, okay? It's something that you need to, like, just move on from regardless, okay? So if you're trying to get over someone, because I feel like this is literally trying to get over someone, because this is in reverse here, I feel like you're going to be able to do that, because the Judgment card is it's so fresh. It's like a new, fresh morning. It's like sparkling. It's clean. It's like the clear slate. Okay. It's not without, you have some pain and suffering here. You may have gone through some kind of loss or some kind of pain and suffering. This can also be a death in the family, someone passing away, because we have the Page of Swords, and this is like an ascension, one of the what I call ascension cards. So this is somebody who may have passed away recently, or has yet to pass away in March. Because the Three of Swords is like a past hurt. I mean, it can be an active hurt, so there could be some active like pain or suffering that you're feeling beginning of March. The Page of Swords is also taking the baby, for those of you who are single moms, taking the baby and no longer being with a partner, moving out, breaking up, going away. It's a card of separation, being separated. So some of you may be going through a separation and it's very painful. Some of you may have had a breakup that's very painful too. To me, the Three of Swords is really a card about heartache, pain, trauma, loss, okay? All of those things. But I don't feel like you're going to be suffering for too long. The problem is that there's some physical issues that either you or your partner or someone that's close to you that are ongoing, okay? To me, that's ongoing. And that may be causing you some pain. There may be literal physical pain beginning of March, something that's happened to you. Some of you, this could be like, I want to say, if you have somebody who's elderly, this is like an elderly, like grandparent, grandmother, grandfather, who's needing to go to a nursing home, okay? Or who is going to a nursing home. This is like maybe being transferred from a nursing home, going back and forth, going into maybe a different nursing home or getting different care. I feel like this is like something, there's like 3 cards lining up here that that's triggering that in my mind. Okay, so for some of you, it's like an elderly relative. Maybe it's your grandma, your grandpa, who's needing to get better care or needing to be in a nursing home, or you looking after someone who's elderly, because a lot of Aquarians become very good caretakers. So this could be someone in the family who's not well, and you may be looking after them. But I feel like there's movement here. There's movement. Because we have the Page of Swords. To me, it's movement. Some of you may be moving, starting fresh. Some of you may, be moving away from a situation or moving on from a situation that's not good. Some of you may be literally moving on, or some of you may be like by actually moving, or some of you just may be like moving on as far as you no longer talking to them, no longer having any kind of contact, physical contact with them. Okay, there's a lot of physicality stuff going on for you, Aquarius, in March, which is interesting because as much as you have this like head space, you also have a physical body. So I want to say, for those of you who, some of you are taking care of your body, but some of you need to take better care of your body. Okay. Respect when you're hungry, respect when you're tired, respect when you have maybe some mood swing stuff going on. But I also feel like there's going to be kind of like a fresh start for you in March. For a lot of you, maybe it's some kind of medical breakthrough. For some of you, it could be like a medical breakthrough where it's like somebody figures out what the hell is wrong with you. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not feeling good and somebody figures it out, and maybe you, or maybe it's like one of those things. It could be, I feel like for some of you, it's a child or somebody who's not well. I just feel like I just keep sort of seeing like a children's hospital and like someone like maybe being sick, and like you don't really know what's wrong with them. There's some kind of breakthrough that's going on with that. Okay, whether it's you or somebody else that there's some kind of like, I want to say medical breakthrough. There could also be like in general in March some kind of medical breakthrough that's like a really big deal, and you may just be really excited about it. But I think for the most of you, This is like an emotional, to me, this is an emotional thing where either you're breaking up, getting a divorce. For those of you who are single, I do feel like you are going to be coming out of a cycle of hardship. Because you get the Page of Swords, which is being lifted up out of hardship. And it's moving on from hardship. And you have the Judgment crossing it. So to me, that's fresh start. So this is like, it's like a new beginning, endings, and new beginnings for you in March. You have the Ace of Swords in the position of your emotions, which is very interesting. I'm starting to see the Ace of Swords, you're gonna laugh at me, as sort of like the single girls or the single guys card, okay? I see it as a single person. Why? Because it's the ace. It's singular. It's one. It's coming to terms with you being single. And people have a really hard time with this, okay? Because our consciousness, the way we are programmed in a way, is we are happiest when we're in a loving, healthy partnership because there's a sense of unity and we're no longer separate and there's no longer that polarity thing that we're dealing with. When we're single, we feel lonely, we feel depressed, we feel despondent, we feel disgusted, we feel like, you know, there's nobody there. So this to me is like coming to terms emotionally with being single. Having like, maybe this is the end, for some of you it's the end of being single, because you have the Ten of Cups coming in from the outside. So this is getting it on in March, having some hot, passionate sex in March, okay? Or maybe this is what you want. But it's interesting, this is what the universe is sending you. So somebody has the hots for you, Aquarius. Somebody has the hots for you. And, you know, there may be an opportunity there to have a hot night. Now, the Ten of Cups doesn't always mean soulmate, okay? Sometimes it's like just a one-night stand. I feel like if you have the hots for somebody, if somebody has the hots for you, I feel like it's a little bit more complicated than just, like, I want to say there's some issues or obstacles that you will have to face with this person. So it's not just like clear sailing. I can't say that because I don't see that. I feel like it is matching up with the Ten of Cups, matching with the King of Cups. So I want to say this is Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, male, that you have the hots for, or that they have the hots for you, okay? It's a strong chemistry there, okay? Very, very strong. And this is also happiness. This is happiness. So on a positive note, okay, so coming, it's sort of like you jump off from the diving board into the swimming pool. The diving board is the pain and suffering. You're like, okay, I'm done with that. And you move on and you're really, really happy. Diving into the pool is filled with water and it's good. It's sort of like, you know, if you were to take a nosedive, taking a nosedive into something better, okay? So I feel like there's a lot of there's a freshness for you in March. It's like a fresh start. There may be some lingering physical things that you have to deal with. Physical things that are pressing. You know, and it may it may kind of shade a little bit of your happiness, but for the most part, I feel like this person, or just you being, you know, I want to say you're going to be very happy. By mid-March, there's a happiness. It's sort of like, it's sort of a freshness. It's sort of like, okay, I'm done with that phase of my life and I'm officially, you know, washing my hands. I feel like this is a washing of the hands kind of thing and moving on from that relationship into something better. I really feel strongly that that's the case. Now, for some of you, it's just the hots, okay? Doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen, okay? Because the Ten of Cups can be physical, but it can an actual, or it can be more like, you know, you just want somebody. There's somebody that you really want. Or you may really just want to have sex in March. But there's some issues there, you know. Maybe some of you are really done with the single life, you know. Or some of you, are moving on. This is using the Sword of Truth and saying, you know what? fuck them. I'm done. Like, I'm done with that relationship. I'm moving on. I'm ready to move on. Because to me, the Ace of Swords is moving on. It's weeding out something in your life that's not healthy. And this is really good for you emotionally. I feel like this is very, very positive. This is also having butterflies for someone. This is like, you know, because there's butterflies in this picture. This is so cute. You may have like little butterflies for someone. Someone, you know, there may be someone that's giving you like butterflies, beginning of a relationship. Now, it's not totally clear, smooth sailing because you have the Knight of Swords, which I do believe is you if you're Aquarius male. Okay, can be Aquarius female also. In the position of your attitude, which is being very determined, which is a little bit controlling too. There's a control thing here, wanting control. Maybe having some, you know, ruffling some people's feathers. I always see this as the ruffled feathers card. You know, whether somebody's ruffling your feathers or you're ruffling somebody else's feathers. This is conflict too, can be conflict. I'm not sure. Because to me, the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups is like this beautiful, it's like this hot spot in the middle of March where it's like really, somebody's making you really happy. But it's like, again, it's not clear sailing. There may be some like things that you have to deal with or they have to deal with that aren't pleasant, okay? Because the Knight of Swords is sort of like the knight that rushes into battle and like, doesn't care. I mean, the Knight of Swords always wins. You will win, but not without ruffling somebody's feathers. Not without somebody, you know, getting hurt. You have to be careful what you say, again, Aquarius, in March, okay? So towards the end of March, there may be some level of, like, wanting to control things. Feeling like you have to be aggressive. You have to go out there and do something or go out there and say something. This is, some cases, putting yourself out there. But this is also wanting to win. This is you wanting to win and knowing that like it is fighting the good fight, but at the same time, there are times in which you need to put down the sword. And I feel like in March, that's the time. I feel like March is the time. Because this is a card where you've put down the sword. In the upright, you've put it down. You're saying, okay, I'm going to have some peace and quiet in my life. I don't need the conflict. But in reverse, you haven't put down the sword. You're still holding on to it very, very tightly, and you're clinging on. I feel like some of you are clinging on to the old way of things. There's some tinge of clinging on to like a bad situation or clinging on to a past situation where there was conflict. You know, maybe literally not being totally over something. I feel like you're going to move on. I feel like the energy here is moving on. But there's something that some of you are like not totally over. So I pulled 3 cards for the outcome because the outcome originally was the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is feeling overworked, overburdened, having too many responsibilities. This can be the emotional breakdown, okay? This is taking on a lot. Okay? A lot of responsibility. This is other people's responsibilities too. Taking on other people's burdens. Like people calling you up and like, you know, just dumping problems onto you, okay? This is biting off more than you can chew in some cases. You need to figure out your limits. I want to say in March, Aquarius, like it's very important you figure out your limits. Don't say no, okay? Say no. If there's too much, if you can't handle it, say no, okay? It's okay to say no. You can't solve all of the world's problems. Some people need to help themselves. It's not your responsibility to help everyone. It's not your responsibility to police the world. Now, some of you actually may be policemen, I want to say, because this is you riding into battle, literally, you know, or some of you may know somebody who, I don't know, like rides in an ambulance or something, or, you know, rides. This could be literally, Like someone who rides like on a rodeo or something like that, you know, or someone who drives like a school bus. There's like some kind of riding thing happening, some kind of car thing too. Could be someone just like riding their bicycle, you know, by or something like that. You may be really like into riding a bicycle, or you may be really into like mountain biking or something wild like that, you know. I don't know. My guide is just showing me like images of me when my brother's friends, when I was younger, they used to take their bikes in the woods and literally mountain bike, and it was crazy. It was a crazy thing. There was my next door neighbor had this huge hill, like a giant hill, okay, right next door to my house. And it was a great hill for sledding in the wintertime, but like it was a huge hill, and every now and again my brother's best friend would come like start at the top in the woods and just ride all the way down the hill like maniacs. Like I still have visions of this, and this is scary stuff. But I'm saying if you do anything like that, this could be like the motocross racer or something too. A little bit like daredevil kind of thing. You need to go easy. You know, some of you may have a motorcycle, some of you may want to have a motorcycle, some of you may want to do kind of like extreme sports. I feel like some of you, there's a need for like kind of extreme, something extreme. Maybe it's just wanting to go horseback riding, or maybe it's just wanting to, again, get a motorcycle or a new bike or something like that. You know, and I feel like you're going to have a lot more fun towards the end of March, because you have the Three of Cups, which is really, really positive, and you need to have fun. This is, you know, going out with your girlfriends, hanging out with some friends, going out for drinks, going out for coffee, meeting up with people, going to a concert. It's very positive. And you do have the Empress as the another outcome card, which is, Empress is the artist, being creative, coloring, painting, drawing, photography. This is doing, you know, kind of, you know, even like quilting or baking, or like things that are very just creative, having a lot of creative talents. This is also a card of one of the abundance cards, and this is also a card of fertility. So ladies, some of you need to be careful, because the 10 of Cups plus the Empress equals pregnancy. Okay, sex plus love. You know where this is going, okay? I don't need to tell you how babies are made, okay? This is not something that I need to tell you. You guys can figure it out, okay? So basically, that's what's happening here, okay? So it's like, you know, you gotta be careful. I mean, if you hook up with someone, you may have like an unplanned pregnancy. There may be like some kind of like, it may just happen like really quick, and you're like, okay. It may just be something that you weren't expecting, okay? For some of you. For those of you who are single, this is someone having the hots for you, and you also being very creative towards the end of March, artistic wise. And this is also romance. This is also magic. This is also the power to achieve your heart's desire. It's not only being artistic and creative, it's that element of romance or the element of love that maybe you haven't had. I want to say it's like a romance, very strong romance card for you, Aquarius. So I want to say, like, overall, I feel like this is a good month of getting over things, working on things, revisiting things. You know, this is a breakthrough kind of month, where things kind of just like, it's like a sudden, it's like a breakthrough moment. It's sort of just like a fresh start. Either with a tinge of like leftover sadness or leftover pain or leftover trauma or something that's like not yet, you're not totally yet over, but you will be. By the end of March, you will be. The highlights to me is the King of Cups plus the 10 of Cups. That's the highlight. Great happiness, hot sex. The 10 of Cups, going back to this card, it originally was the whole ball of wax, the full relationship, romance, bliss, happiness, great sex, passion, you know what I mean? A connection, something very strong. So some of you, this is what you want, or this is someone who wants this with you, or you're soulmates, okay? For For some of you, it's just a brief moment, a moment where this is what the energy is. Some of you may or may not tap into this energy. It's like the one night stand. It's brief. It's going to depend on each situation. This is a general reading. Because there's a lot of positive, there's a lot of negative and positive cards, it's sort of 50-50 in my mind. I want to say 50% of you, there's going to be issues. Either issues where the person that you have the hots for has problems. There's, I want to say baggage. Okay, there may be some baggage. There may be some ex-wives, ex-husbands in the closet. You know what I mean? You know, that's just like, you know, skeletons in the closet. That's what I'm saying. And that need to, that you have to deal with. There's things that you may have to deal with that's very heavy, okay? Heavy, very, very heavy energy. And then there's also this really, very bright, fun, creative energy towards the end of March. So it really is going to go, it could go either way. And it could be like you're experiencing both things. Where you're experiencing, and if you are, message me, okay? If you're experiencing both this, like, this very heavy, like, kind of like I can't quite get what I want, or I'm not quite getting what I need, or like maybe it's like you want a relationship and it's not quite that relationship, that full relationship that you want, or even if it is that relationship that you want, there may be some issues with it. Like, you know, maybe some of you it's financial issues, and some of you it's going to be just work-related issues, career issues, where you're taking on a lot of work, you're doing a lot of work, and you're very, you know, kind of overloaded with those things. The Ten of Cups is also finance. So I want to say, you know, you have happiness plus really good finances, too, for March. So I'm not really too concerned about finances for you, especially because you have the Page of Swords, which is the end of a cycle of hardship, the end of going through just like constant worry about your finances. Because you have the Four of Swords reverse, I know I've gone back to this card a million times, but like, because you have that, in my mind, some of you have been in this cycle where it's never ending, where you're just like, how am I going to make money? How am I going to survive? How am I going to pay my bills? Constantly. And that's coming to an end. And it's coming to an end because you're moving on from a bad relationship. For some of you, it's the relationship that's been blocking you. So you need to look around you. For those of you who are single, this is not applying to you, but you need to look around you. Who's around you? What negative people are in your life? And you need to weed those out. And if you have a partnership that's very heavy, it's very demanding, it's very conflict driven, I feel like it's going to come to an end in March if it hasn't already come to an end. For a lot of you, it's already come to an end. It may have already come to an end in February. And then, you know, for those of you who are single, I feel like there is major opportunity here for love and romance, especially towards the end. Beginning of new relationships, message me if you're beginning a new relationship, or if you're just sort of like, some of you may be flirting, you know, I want to say there's a flirtation, or if there's like a underlying like chemistry with someone that hasn't quite fully developed yet, but I feel like it's coming. Like, you know, the Empress is abundance, it's fruits, it's harvesting. So there's a time frame for some of you on when this is going to happen. And I know you're going, well, what's the time frame? And it's really going to depend for every single person. There's so many people that are watching my videos. There's thousands of people. So it's going to really depend. But things come in cycles. So if you've been in a cycle of like, it's been a dry spell for you, where you haven't had sex, or you haven't even had a relationship for a long period of time, that's coming to an end, okay? You're starting over. You're starting a new cycle of new relationships, new beginnings. You know, usually the cycles go from, you know, go 3 and 7, okay? So it's like, if you've been three years or more without a relationship, it's time, it's happening. There's going to be, I want to say, at least the opportunity for you to hook up with someone in March, okay? Whether you take advantage of that opportunity. Well, that's up to you, you know. Whether you want to, that's also up to you. But I feel like the opportunity is going to present itself. It's going to be there, okay? You know, and definitely if it's 7 or more years, it's time to get back on the horse, you know. Yeehaw. Link there for you. So, that said, I'm just going to send you big hugs like I always do. And I will be back again doing the April regular general readings. I may post March sex and relationship videos. I haven't decided yet. And most likely I'm not going to be doing the mids for mid-March, but you never know, so stay tuned. Definitely follow me on Twitter so you know when I'm posting my stuff. Definitely click subscribe if you haven't. And thank you guys so much for following me, liking, Google Plusing, subscribing. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like a private reading, definitely check out my website. I will be posting I was going to post them yesterday at my March availability. So you should be able to see my March availability by the time I posted this video for you guys. So, so yeah, thank you guys so much. And it's oracledaphne.com and I'll leave the link here for you for setting up a private reading. So, all right, big hugs, everyone. Big kisses. And I will be back again. Take care. All the best. Okay. Bye.